You walk into a Discord call, and these dudes are in it. What do you do?
Now that you're all here, the meeting can get started!
This is the Fox Box, a Saturday morning block that made its debut on Fox during the 2002 fall season. It was run by 4Kids Entertainment and primarily aired shows that largely had their involvement. 4Kids doesn't need an introduction at this point if you watch this channel, but it's pretty impressive just how much they grew in a few years. They were put on the map for dubbing Pokemon, which came out in 1998, and in just a few years, they became a powerhouse, dubbing a good chunk of other popular anime like Yu-Gi-Oh! Such popularity eventually allowed them their own Saturday morning block. Now, I've already gone over how insane Kids WB's promotions were in the last video, check that out if you want, but this insanity expands to other networks. For you see, 4Kids decided for this block to expand this insanity outside the TV space and into promotional DVDs. I've already gone over the one they did in 2005 when they renamed themselves to 4Kids TV, but another more infamous one they did happened in 2003 and is known as the Fight for the Fox Box. For you see, unlike the previous promotional thing we looked over, this one has a plot, and it's the most ambitious crossover. Move over, Endgame.
Never before has there been a teaming up of a group this powerful!
Ah yes, the toughest foes of the galaxy. Such memorable names that strike fear into one's soul. We got the Shredder, Dr. Eggman, King DDD, some PS1 looking scientist, and a phone. Avengers are screwed now!
Your message said you would help us defeat a common enemy.
I hope he wasn't talking about tooth decay, cause in your case, we're a little too late.
Yup, they're definitely cooked. As you can tell, this anonymous evil has called upon every stooge of a villain this block came up with to shut down the Fox Box because, in his words,
each week, millions watch as that accursed network broadcasts episode after episode, glorifying our enemies and showcasing our defeats.
And his proposal for a replacement.
What are you gonna do? Shut down the Fox Box?
Exactly! And replace it with a network where we win all the time!
So yes, the voice of the unknown brought together iconic villains just to shut down some Saturday morning block. You know, before real life did that years later. But I guess we should go over this rogues gallery. We've got some noteworthy foes like Eggman of Sonic X, Shredder of the 2003 Ninja Turtles cartoon, and King Dedede and Escargoon of Kirby right back at ya. But we also got two villains from lesser remembered shows, Dr. K from Cubix Robots for Everyone, and what the fuck is this phone's name? Dial-Bolic. But that's just his 4Kids name. His actual name is Telltale Boy. He's from Ultimate Muscle, which we'll get into as we go on. So, sort of memorable roster, I say, as I've never heard of the latter show until stumbling upon this. But how did they shut this block down? Well, the voice from my sleep paralysis demon told me that.
Right now, all you need to know is that I'm the one with the Fox Box broadcast code.
So this guy is a super hacker? There's way more useful data he could get access to, but nope, he's got a grudge against the kids block. Go off.
What if your plan is discovered?
It ain't like we're gonna go mailing out a whole heap of DVDs telling folks about the whole dang scheme.
Confirmed that they're all just sharing the same brain cell with this plan. But yes, this is part of the gimmick. Every villain gets a piece of this broadcast code that the viewer is supposed to enter online to restore the Fox Box. At least for the meta. In the story of this DVD, the heroes locate each part of the code. But before we get to that, we must promote a completely unrelated show.
What a bummer.
Huh? Hey, look at the bright side. This may be the biggest case of our careers.
So these two happen to intercept their conversation and are on the case, because they're the Funky Cops. Who are the Funky Cops? Well, it's a French show about two cops in San Francisco who also dance. It was made by Anti-Films Production, later known as Moonscope, who's most well known for Code Lyoko. And you can easily tell that by the art style. So why is 4Kids promoting this? Well, it turns out it was originally dubbed by 4Kids for the US. However, it got so low ratings that it eventually became exclusive to their website before disappearing completely. Most of the 4Kids dub is actually lost media. That's how unpopular it was back then. At least its theme song's kind of a jam.
When these guys are on patrol, ain't gonna be no rock and roll. Funky Cops.
This is probably one of the only ways this dub has been preserved. Then we cut to New York City to see the Ninja Turtles dude-broing it up.
Oh yes! Saturday morning tune time! This is what life's all about!
So, do the Turtles, along with the characters from the other shows, watch their own shows on this block? Is this like reminiscing their adventures to them? Are their whole lives just some reality show where everything is filmed for the entertainment of 7-year-olds? These are the kind of things I think of during wacky promotional stuff like this. We at least know they have opinions on their neighboring shows.
Hey! What gives? This isn't Ultimate Muscle! I want my Ultimate Muscle!
Huh, you'd think that'd be Raphael's favorite show since he's the tough muscular guy.
If I miss this week's Kirby, heads are gonna roll!
Alright, valid, Ralph, you go off. This is the part where you remember this is a commercial because of how hilariously unnatural the dialogue is for the sole purpose of promoting what shows are on the block.
Yeah, well hurry it up, because I also wanted to catch the Foxbox premiere of Shaman King.
Who talks like this with their buddies? Hey Zinnia, I was thinking it'd be totally radical if we watched the all-new Can't Buy Happiness arc, Enter the Con, coming soon to the Chico Cheese channel and running for a whole week. It'll be off the hook! Anyways, this is Shaman King, the, at the time, new show on the block.
There are those who can not only see ghosts, they can control them.
Don't actually have too much to say about the show itself. Looks very on par with other shonen at the time.
Hey, lady, down in front!
Michelangelo, do not make me come back there.
Sorry, Sensei.
Feel like I'm watching Lion King 1.5 now.
That was some battle.
That reminds me of the first time we met, yo.
Yes, I remember it like it was only yesterday.
Okay, I know nothing about Shaman King, but what the hell is wrong with this guy's head? It's so big compared to his tiny body. He's also dressed like he's clocking into work, which makes this extra funny.
Yeah, it's from the same dudes that made Yu-Gi-Oh! So you know it's gonna kick butt!
So I actually looked this up and no, they weren't. Different creators, different studios. The only similarities I could find were them having a matching publishing company and both being in Weekly Shonen Jump. Unless, of course, you mean on the 4-kid side, because a lot of these dubs have similar people on them. Oh yeah, right, your network was preempted.
We fought evil ninjas, evil robots, evil monsters, but canceling my Saturday morning cartoons? That's the evilest evil ever!
Teenage Mutant Ninja priorities. Naturally, the Turtles quickly concluded Shredder and go off to fight and watch Kirby. Speaking of Kirby... Damn it, I thought that would be a good segue. But this actually comes from the first episode of Sonic X. I know because I watched it recently. It's pretty one-to-one with what happens in the actual episode until this part.
What are you doing here?
I heard you had one of the Foxbox broadcast codes.
And Sonic effortlessly gets the robot to tell him the code.
You.
Ask him.
Not a chance. You're not getting me to ask what's the code, Deco.
The code is...
Eggman is so stupid he fell for that obvious trick. He didn't even need to go full-on Bugs Bunny on him. Let's check in on Kirby before Raphael throws something at me.
I've congregated you here to tell you about a Major League Big Time change coming to the Kirby Right Back At You show.
Ironically, the animation comes from the episode where they were making a cartoon. So DDD and Escargoon just recap the show to the Cappy Town citizens as if they don't already know this.
That's where all these strange-looking Cappies live.
He says to the Cappies. Some ballsy Cappy in the crowd should just throw something at them for that.
Problem is, the show's been all about Kirby. Well, that's gonna change. This season, Kirby Right Back At You is gonna be about me.
Again, this is actually what the plot of that cartoon-making episode was. DDD forcing everyone to make a show about glorifying him. You know, the fact that they're both referencing the show they're on and the network it airs on makes a lot of these moments feel like an abridged series. Just look at this.
DDD got his hands on one of the Foxbox broadcast codes, and now he's gonna change the Kirby show!
Change the Kirby show. We must stop him.
The fact that this is such high stakes for them and they're talking about a Saturday morning block, she even goes up to Kaboo, who knows where the codes are. I wonder if Kirby watches Ultimate Muscle too. Speaking of which... Damn it, I thought I got it right this time!
First I switched from that dull and boring network to the Foxbox.
Hey, don't knock Kids WB! Ash caught in sync there. But yes, he's referring to the fact that Cubics aired on Kids WB before moving to the Foxbox. Kinda strange that 4Kids wanted to take a dig at them since Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!, their headliner shows, were still airing over there at the time. Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
And now I get to join the baddest group on television.
Wait, I've heard that voice before. Throw a New York accent on that voice and...
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Maddie Blaustein, we lost you too soon.
If we can take over the Foxbox, that means we can stop the Funky Cops.
I feel like someone had to have read over that line and went, what the fuck am I reading?
And if we stop the Funky Cops, that means we can stop Disco from making a comeback.
What makes it funnier is that he's got this serious Star Wars-like voice and he's saying stuff like that. Let's check in on our freshest funk cops.
I find that very hard to believe, you know.
Let me get this straight.
Oh shit, I found a Pooh's Adventure video. No? It's real? Fuck. Yes, the characters are integrated together like this. There's a reason during the opening villain's call that they're not in the same room. To be fair, it's not the worst I've seen. Bulbasaur as a Men in Black agent still takes the cake.
So you say your name's Meat? That's right, Detective.
To be fair, that's a dumb name. It'd be more believable to say your name was Dr. Eggman. Oh god damn it, I can hear it too. This interrogation they have is actually a setup to promote Ultimate Muscle BTW.
Big bad boys from outer space.
Okay, I gotta say, Ultimate Muscle's theme song kicks ass. 4Kids theme songs have this certain kind of cheese you could only really find in this era that is loaded with charm. This show, based on this recap, just looks so stupid it's funny. Take a look at some of these enemies our protagonist has to fight.
He was up against a lean, mean wrestling machine named Pumpinator. That's right, a giant sneaker. And who can forget that demented demon named Diabolic?
You can only come up with this stuff if you're a 7-year-old playing with your action figures.
He had such an evil keypad, I went back to a rotary phone.
Is that thing swearing? Watch it with that, the jelly donut popcorn ball gods are watching you. Somehow, this insane as hell looking show put the Funky Cops to sleep. They must have a really short attention span. At least they could pay attention to the anecdote about this enemy.
If you think Kid Muscle has a lethal gas attack, you can imagine what a giant butt's got up his sleeve.
If you couldn't tell, this is the most aggressively for boys thing ever. I'm only showing you the most wild villains. This one here takes the cake.
So much clogging!
I actually watched the first episode of this recently, and it's as insane as these clips make it out to be.
The next thing you'll be telling us is that there are a bunch of mutant turtles running loose in New York City. They are
Damn, when the Funky Cops are better at transitions than me, I need to rethink my life choices. This is basically a preview for the 2003 Ninja Turtle series, and I gotta say, this franchise was just built for 4Kids. I watched the first episode of this too, and it was honestly some of their best work. And that's mostly because 1, it's an American cartoon, so no dumb localization changes. And 2, TMNT at its core is a cheesy as hell franchise. I mean, the name sounds like a fake show within a show. Also, the action is just so good. But back to Kirby.
Safe and sound.
Hold it!
It should probably be apparent right now, but these scenes aren't original animation made for this, but rather scenes from the show redubbed over for this specific promotion. I think the episode they're using here is about buried treasure, but I need to rewatch the show. I've been wanting to because I can get just as much review material out of it as I can for Pokemon. Maybe next time. The show has that formulaic comfort I just love. But yeah, Kirby gets the code.
B7Z51.
I love how slow he has to say it clearly so the kid watching at home has a chance to write it down. This was before notes apps too, so that kid had to run to find a pencil and paper. We're just jumping around now, so here's a guy getting beat up by the phone dude.
Oh, he's that, and that, oh, and some of that.
This is the strangest Earthbound boss. So the phone guy gives in quickly, but it was actually just a trick to write it in a place where Kid Muscle couldn't see it.
Oh, no fair! I've been duped again!
This guy gives up too quickly. You're a wrestler, just pin him in a way where you can see the code.
I don't get it, Doc. Why would the number MM881 get Kid Muscle so upset?
The way these dudes talk, the way they're animated, it's just so beautiful. It's very Speed Racer core. I love it.
MM881 is part of the Foxbox code.
Oh, hi, Pokemon Stadium announcer. Also, slow down, guys. Little Timmy's got to get his apple pies out of the oven. He needs to write that down. Back with the Turtles, Donatello was showing April O'Neil the JPEG party on his computer.
Shredder's got one part, but we'll need the other parts to get the Foxbox back online and on the air.
They basically learned that Shredder has one part of the code, so they created a website for it.
Don and I have set up a website, SaveTheFoxbox.com.
Well, that URL doesn't work anymore. Was expecting to get some cringy change.org petition when typing in, but using the Wayback Machine, very high tech. Feel like I'm about to enter some government code.
I just hope all this can happen fast so I don't miss the Foxbox premiere of Sonic X!
I'm half expecting the Turtles to just talk about Raid Shadow Legends next. What, you think I get sponsors? That's a good one. But this video is brought to you by Can't Buy Happiness. It's on the channel. What we got here is just a standard preview for Sonic X. It premiered around this time. Nothing of note. Let's check in on Cubics.
Alright, all Cubics has to do is knock out Culminator's memory unit.
Then Chip and Cerebrix can get the secret code.
Honestly, one of my favorite parts about looking back on 4Kids production, just how often they use the same voice actors across a lot of their shows. I just heard Veronica Taylor as April and now this girl, and it's super obvious here.
You guys ready to download?
Yup.
This is the AU where May and Max traveled with Gary Oak. He had a better time dealing with the goons from North Petalburg. But long story short, our heroes get the code from Meowth Scientist Sona. Back to the turtles!
Jeez, none of us found Shredder's part of the code.
That's probably because Shredder is the only competent villain here, unless Dr. K does some crazy shit in an episode I don't know about. So Leo gets Shredder's code, but is super beat up in the process, proving my point. Heck, he even ends up trapping the turtles in a closet and blowing the place up.
Say goodbye to your precious Foxbox and your worthless lives.
Nightmare Enterprises get this dude on the line. And then we get one last villain meetup where they lament about how all their enemies got their parts of the code. And now we must talk about what I failed to mention, the twist. Yes, this has one. For the 5 people curious, the disembodied voice is actually another show's villain.
They can enter it there and restore the network! And that would make me mad at you!
Of course, this little bastard's the mastermind behind this operation. So this is Wayne Cramp of the Cramp Twins. Yes, this is connected to 4Kids somehow. It aired on the block. It was a short-lived, run-of-the-mill, mediocre show about 2 obnoxious twins, and this is the evil bastard twin. Move over, Dark Pit. The main thing of note, besides how out of left field this reveal is that Cramp Twins wasn't actually a 4Kids production. It was made in association with Cartoon Network Europe. So basically, a character from an acquired program took over the block. And since this promotional thing was made by 4Kids, they didn't use the twins' actual VAs, who are Tom Kenny and Kath Soucie, and instead used their own. Wayne being Mark Thompson and Lucian being Veronica Taylor. And well,
just tying up some loose ends.
I won't let you get away with this!
Ash Ketchum to Team Rocket regularly. Also, God, I hate how this show looks. The outlines being outside their bodies just look so wrong, and it looks even worse in motion. I don't even know how it ended up on this block. But this does get one thing right. Wayne Cramp is more evil than any of these losers here. But yeah, this promotion was wild. The fact that this bastard child managed to get together some legitimate villain for his weirdo power trip of taking over some forgotten Saturday morning block is quite insane. We get to see some character interactions that only a fanficker could dream of, complete with some abridged series sounding dialogue. It's quite a fun rabbit hole to go down and makes me want to check out some of these shows, at least out of morbid curiosity. But we'll do that another time. Until then, see ya!